Gambling is probably one of the easiest ways to make it big or to die hard or to fall hard. So I was just going to sit down and talk about literally just gambling. Like gambling in general. Now, obviously, I'm not of age to gamble. I believe it's like 21 or something they have to gamble. But so many people view gambling as just like a fun way to relax, fun way to go to Vegas, do something, go and I don't know, go just have some drinks, gamble like $100. If you win, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. If you lose, it doesn't matter. Literally, I was sitting down and I saw this. Now, this is obviously from a little bit ago, but Charles Barkley lost over $30 million in gambling. So he's a former Suns legend. Refusal to stop gambling cost him millions of dollars in his career. So pretty much he just had an addiction. Because if you scroll down a bit, it says Charles Barkley exposed Michael Jordan's gambling habit, betting at 300K on golf shots. So then Charles Barkley's trying to move the blame off of him to Michael Jordan. Now, obviously, these are very rich individuals, but this is just a stupid way to spend money. Like $30 million could literally change, I don't know, 30 people's lives. It could literally change everything. That's so much money. So Charles Barkley admits to losing big money while gambling. He once lost 2.5 mil in a 2-hour window. 2 hours, and he's losing that much money. He's lost $1 million on gambling at least 10 to 20 times. Holy cow. It's a stupid bad habit. I have a problem, but the problem is when you can't afford it. I can afford to gamble. I didn't kill myself when I lost $2.5 million. I like to gamble. I'm not going to quit. Losses somewhere between 10 and 20 million. He was once sued by a casino for failing to pay $400,000 in loans. He did repay the full amount, including a $40,000 attorney fee. So he's pretty much saying because he's rich, he can gamble. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. It's almost like someone if they're like if you're not crazy rich and you have something that you like let's say people that smash controllers while they're gaming. A lot of people, they're not rich, but they're they have enough money that they will just smash a controller and just buy a new one. But someone like me, I could afford another controller, but I never wanted to destroy anything of mine because I knew it would cost me money. That's really the main way. And he's saying that it's okay. It's a stupid bad habit, which it is. It's very it's very addictive. Gambling can be extremely addictive because if you win a little bit and then you're oh, that's gonna happen again, that's gonna happen again, that's gonna happen again, and then if you lose, you're just gonna keep saying I can win it back, I can win it back, I can win it back. It's just a really vicious cycle. But he's saying he doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because he has enough money, which is probably true. He is a multi-millionaire. So it's probably okay for him to gamble, but that's just an insane amount of money. So now looking at the positive side of how much people have won for money, there's an anonymous person that won 14 mil from successfully betting between the LA Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Now, this is the bad part of gambling, is because they show you all these huge wins and stuff, but then you don't realize that it's the 1% that get this. It's almost like looking at Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, oh, they didn't go to college, they didn't graduate high school, because you can really look up 50 millionaires that have that dropped out of high school. And then people try to compare themselves to that, being oh, that's going to happen to me, where it's very unlikely. They did work very hard and they were pretty smart people to begin with, and that's why they dropped out, is because they're just smart. So I think this is kind of the same thing, they're always looking at the what if, oh, I could win $10 million or $14 million. I could win this much money and change my whole entire life. Yeah, you could, but you could also accidentally discover the cure to cancer. It's just that very, very 1%. Still, $14 million off a random bet. And he says he was younger than 30 years of age. That is insane. That's an insane amount of money. Now, people that have lost the most money. Archie Karras, I believe that's how you pronounce it. He's a famous gambler. Archie Karras lost $40 million because of other betting decisions. A winning streak, blah, blah, blah. Dice games where he won $40 million over time. He lost the money over 3 weeks. Now, Charles Barkley, he lost $30 million. He's actually second on this list. He lost $30 million, but that was over his whole career. This guy won $40 million and then lost it within 3 weeks. That is insane. And he's also had to borrow money from friends, which is just, you're just feeling like you're just an enabler at that point. Like if like your friend comes to you like, I just lost all my money, can you give me $50 to go and try to gamble? Like honestly, I wouldn't give it to him and just be like, no, just go get a job, dude. Like gamble on the side or something like that. This one also says that he lost all the money playing blackjack. Lost 2.5 million while playing blackjack. Yeah, he's lost 30 million, but I think that's also a lot of game bets because you can like bet games, which is another problem. Is that like corporations, for example, the UFC, they like will sponsor themselves with their own betting, like their own betting like site, like app. So you can really bet on the fights and stuff, which is kind of dangerous because like you can bet a ridiculous amount of money, I think. But then again, it's very good advertisement, and a lot of people do it. So, for example, how many people do it? 26% of the population gamble. That's almost 1.6 billion people worldwide, and 4.2 billion gamble at least once every year. Wow. Now, I don't know if this is saying 1.6 billion world gamble like consistently, and then 4.2 billion gamble at least once a year. Because I know like family members and stuff that they'll only really gamble if it's something like I don't know, like something that they watch a lot. Like if it's a baseball game, they'll put like $50 on it, or they'll just gamble with friends, or like they don't even go to casinos. They just play poker like with each other, like with their friends, which is probably a good way to do it because then it's not like it can turn heated if like like cheating or something. But how many people go broke gambling? 23 million Americans go into debt because of gambling, and the average loss is estimated to be around $55,000. So this is a really good example of the bad part of gambling because obviously gambling is like not a very good thing to like try to make money off of. Like there's all those crazy guys like I don't know, Dan Bilzerian, who claims that he's won I don't know how much it was, like $7 million on gambling, which is probably not true because like it's been proven that he's just garbage at gambling. He's just a trust fund kid. But 23 million Americans going into debt. I used to have neighbors where I used to live a few years ago, and they literally were like heavily invested into online gambling. Like they lost their jobs because they don't want to work, and they're both like they're pretty young kids too. They're both probably like I don't know, like late 20s, early 30s, and they would just online gamble like all the time. Like that was like the only thing they would do. They just like that was their full time job was online gambling. And that's just insane. Like I would literally see them. They would be gambling, and then they would like their car would be gone the next day, and then like gambling, and then they would like they'd sold their car to pay for more gambling habits. Like at that point, you're just in a hole. It's insane. Like it's really just like it's feeding any addiction really. Like it is really an addiction. Now obviously gambling isn't like a bad thing, but I think it's very like not romanticized, it's very put out there like it's a good thing. So it's not like which I don't think it is. It's not a very good thing because obviously you're losing money, but obviously casinos are one of the best things to invest in probably because these people are stupid and a lot of people are dumb and they'll just spend 72 hours a week gambling in Vegas, and Vegas just makes millions off of them. And then the one payout of like $1 billion that they have to give out, like they're making a humongous profit. But anyways, yeah, all in all, like I was just wanting to talk about this, how he lost 30 million because I thought that was really funny and just like dumb, just because like rich people do a lot of dumb stuff with their money. But obviously usually it's like, oh, I bought a cool car, I bought a house, blah blah blah. But this guy really just straight into the drain, like not even like a material thing, just straight into the drain. Yeah, that's everything. Have a good day.